Okay. All right, so welcome to the CosCast show, episode 60, live at Torucon. I am your main host, Pixiedust Cosplay, and these are my two main hosts,
Annabella Cosplay
and Enyassia Cosplay.
Yes. Yay! Thank you. And also we are joined by our esteemed guest, Martina Tufte, aka Theriza's Cosplay. She won the NCC this year, so this is the Nordic Cosplay Champion of 2016. Super awesome.
I'm just going to repeat that, and I'm just looking for Fabian on my phone. I'm not disinterested.
Yes, exactly. We're searching for the second guest.
Yeah. I'm just trying to help.
Yeah. Our second guest, if he makes it here, is Fabian, which is Stickweeds Crafting and Cosplay. He placed second in the NCC this year. He also had a panel earlier today about metalworking and armor making. So some of you may have caught it. But before we go to our interview part and talk to Martina, we're going to talk a little bit about some of our contests that we're running at Torucon this year. So the first one is a social media contest where we've asked people who attend Torucon to take a picture of their favorite moment or memory from Torucon, post it on Instagram and at the CosCast and add the hashtag ToruCosCast, and they can win prizes for a value of 500 Norwegian krone.
Can I join?
Yeah. From Nerdeportalen, they have lots of awesome t-shirts and games and mugs and whatnot, so that's a super awesome prize. And the second contest is a word hunt or a letter hunt. We've placed letters all over Torucon, so people can hunt them down, find the keyword, and then take a picture of the place the keyword references. And then put it on Instagram and at us and add the hashtag Bokstavjakten. And you can also win a great prize equal to the one in the first contest.
Yeah. And just to give everybody here a big hint, there's a letter
right there over the door.
So then you know what you're supposed to look for.
Yes, exactly. And it's not too late to enter into the contest. We will not be drawing a winner until Monday evening. So it's open for everyone to attend, basically. Right.
We actually have 4 viewers right now.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
So, hello to
yes, hello to you guys at home. Super fun. Right, cool. So the next point is we're going to talk a little about what do we think about this year's Torucon? Have we had fun at Torucon? Have you guys had fun at Torucon?
Yeah.
Yay! Awesome! Woo! Super. So what has been you guys' favorite moment or favorite thing about Torucon, like in general?
Oh, the people. It's so many great people here. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, I agree. Torucon has this special like environment or atmosphere, and you feel kind of relaxed, and it's such a well produced show, basically. So you can't do anything but enjoy yourself, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree that people makes the con a super fun and comfortable place to be. And the Torucon crew, wow.
Yeah, they're super helpful.
Yes.
We had a lot of technical issues before the show, and they had brought like 3 different people in here to help us, so they're really awesome.
Yeah.
In general, were you happy with Torucon?
I'm always happy with Torucon. It is one of my favorite cons. I've been judging all of yesterday, so I had about 1 hour to actually be at the convention. And I'm kind of stuck in the BansaiCon stand, so promoting the BansaiCon as well. So I've not really been at the convention a lot. The little stuff I managed to catch is really good, and obviously it's a great production value of the entire thing.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
I really want to go and have fun in the ball pits.
Yes, an extra hour in the ball pits.
Yeah.
Hashtag DashCon.
No.
I have a tradition of getting selfies in my costume in the ball pit. So
Yeah.
I kind of got to go in.
We have plans for that as well. Big ball pit plans.
Yes.
I like how the ball pit started out as a DashCon joke, and everyone just making fun of it. And now everyone's like, "Yeah, we have a tiny ball pit, and everyone really enjoys it."
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad of an idea.
Yeah. We've seen toddlers and people up to Wenche from Fantasy Cosplay, that kind of enjoying the whole bit. Yeah, speaking of the devil, welcome Wenche. Yeah. They were.
You're saying how you were apparently in the ball pits.
Last year, at least, I think you were. So I remember seeing you close to it, at least.
Standing next to the boat.
All right. I guess that's it. That wraps up the first part of the show. So I think we should move into the interview part of the show and talk to Martina Tifta about.
Double check if anyone
Yeah.
has seen Fabian.
Yeah.
I just have a Facebook hunt out. Like, if
Yeah.
anyone's seen him, please tell him he has got a hustle to the CosCast.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh,
I
well.
can manage. We don't.
Yeah,
need it
you're
anyway.
super interesting anyway. So. And that was not ironically meant.
No.
Also, it may have sounded like that, but it wasn't. Okay. So,
It's
all right.
fine. You're fine.
We're fine. Okay, so we're going to talk to you a little bit about the NCC because that's super interesting, I think. Enyassia, maybe you want to start asking some of the questions about the NCC
I'm just gonna put a picture of one of
it's-
Martina's work
further down. Yeah,
behind us.
yeah, so you guys can see how crazy talented she is.
This picture is taken by the lovely Theriza, which
Mm.
is also a cosplayer.
Yes.
Who is also a cosplayer.
I'm amazed at how many Norwegian cosplayers and photographers are like the same people. So they're both really talented cosplayers and really talented photographers.
Yeah, that's a crazy coincidence.
It's quite amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so here are the questions.
Yes.
Feel free to fire away.
Thank you. Thank you. The first thing we want to know, how did you guys qualify for the NCC?
Well, obviously, I was at Torucon last year and did an act with that one. So that's pretty much it. I'm kind of glad I wasn't in the contest this year because the level was so high.
All right.
So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I slid by last year. No, the level was high back then as well, but I think I put a lot of effort into both the costume and especially the act with Buffer.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I think you're selling yourself a little bit short because you had a really great performance last year, and the costume obviously is also really, really good. You have such great attention to detail when you do your costumes.
Thank you.
Yes, you do.
And Fabian, I think, I don't know if it was Genki or Japan. I'm just answering for him.
Yes.
He's like invincible. He qualified in Denmark.
Yeah.
Because he's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's crazy, crazy talented.
Yeah. It's not like making armor out of Warbler. It's like real metal.
Exactly.
That's how did you decide which character to cosplay for your NCC performance?
Well, honestly, it's not my first time in the NCC. It's not my first ball game. So last time I focused on a very design-heavy costume, a costume that it shows because I liked the design, and it just wrecked me because it was just so much work put into these. There's so many hours put into these costumes that for that one, it just ruined me completely. I had to take a break from cosplay after that because I couldn't go back to my sewing machine. So this time, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna go and choose a character that I'm really passionate about, a character that I will love cosplaying, that I will, really be invested in making the costume perfect for. So obviously, I'm a big Tolkien fan, and I love the dwarves. I love the personalities they've given them in the films, and I've been like wanting to make half dwarf cast, to be honest. So just picked one, and a friend of mine from the States kind of inspired me and gave me an idea for an act. Like, I'm gonna do that act, I'm gonna do that costume, and that's pretty much how it went.
Yeah. Speaking about your act, we were like sitting at home with like goosebumps and like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was an awesome act.
Yeah, it was so good.
It was so good.
It was very emotional. It was like, the end of his line, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that part because he's quite an obscure character in Hobbit films. So I think a lot of people don't know that that's the skeleton that they find in Moria with the book. So I really wanted to kind of make a deal about that and kind of bring him to the forefront because I really do love his character a lot.
What is it about him that you like so much?
It's just, with all the dwarves, it's just the interplay between the different personalities. The fact that in the films they decided to not just go the obvious way and make like Gimli times 13, but they manage to give them all really distinct personalities that really come across, even though they get far too little screen time in the films.
Yeah.
Stupid elves. No, it's just he's this little nerd. He has the stupidest haircut in history.
Yes, very much
one
so.
bowl cut was not enough. He had to have 2 bloody bowl cuts. And making that wig was a challenge, actually. But anyway, yeah, he's very nerdy, such an absolute dork, which I love in a character. Like,
Yeah, I
that's
think
why
we
I'm doing
can.
this
I think we
today.
can all relate to that, the dorkiness,
Yeah.
but also the prosthetics in the face must have been a real challenge too.
It was. I mean, luckily I had an assistant who does SFX, because I couldn't have made that level of prosthetics myself, just like that. I was gonna say, like, I think this is the year for me for dorky nerds with stupid haircuts. Looking at the Pacific Rim cosplay today as well, it's like he has this stupidest hair. I love it so much. So yeah, pretty much I started really to motivate myself with I'm gonna go with characters I love,
Yeah.
and not just the designs I like.
I think that's a really good way to go to keep the passion alive throughout a very difficult project. Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know how many times I watched The Hobbit during the crafting, and I just put on all the Tolkien films in the background and had them running to give me some kind of motivation to keep going.
Right.
How long did it take to finish the project?
That's an interesting question.
That's the curse of the NCC, I think.
Yeah.
I think I did. I started maybe half a year, 3/4 of a year before, and then it just went on and off. I did a very intensive crafting period before HobbitCon to get, because I wanted at least a wearable version of it by then, and then I think that version was about 40% of the entire costume.
Yeah.
And then I think the last month and a half before the NCC, I did very little else.
I think that's pretty much what everyone does before the NCC. It's like cosplay is my life now.
I mean, you have the odd magical person who's just, I finished 2 weeks in advance. I don't see what
You hate
guys
that
are so
guy.
complaining about. I know a couple of cosplayers who are never like the last minute workers. And how? What is your secret?
Yeah, we all want to know it.
Yes. What did it feel like to get onto that stage and do your performance in front of all those people and cameras?
I mean, it was really odd because no matter how many times I'm on stage, I always have this weird stage fright where my head may be calm, well, not before the NCC, but other contests, my head is like, yeah, I can do this, I got this like planned out, and my stomach goes, nah, you're gonna be really nauseous, and just generally probably want to go to the toilet 100 times and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the NCC is really good. It's just such a good social environment backstage with everyone. So, like, you hang out with all the other themes and you like hype each other up and help each other out with everything. And me and Fabian actually sat in my hotel room the night before the pre-judging. We just decided we both had some last-minute work to do, so we'll just kind of do it together instead of sitting separately. Yeah, before the stage show, obviously there was a lot of nerves, there was a lot of like high-strungness, but we found Team Iceland, and me and Ingrid both are really big Hamilton fans, which it turned out that Team Iceland is as well. So we were just kind of rapping musical along with a lot of the other series. We had like this big party where everyone was singing and rapping along backstage it really helped calm people down. And I mean, this time, because the costume was based on the act was like the first thing I really thought about. I was very certain about what I was going to do. I was very certain that my act was strong. I knew the writing was strong, so that kind of calmed me down a bit, because like, even if you fuck up, I always plan my skits, or try to plan my skits in a way that there is limited ability to fuck up. I don't know if it's that language.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I
Yeah.
cannot keep it in to save my
Okay,
life.
yeah.
So yeah.
Like, one of the big tricks with planning an act, especially for a huge contest like that, is limit anything that can go wrong. So then that kind of helps you calm down, because it's with the pre-recorded music, with everything. It's like, even if I stumble and fall on stage, I can pick it up.
Yeah,
I
because
can
no one
save
knows
this.
that it's not supposed to
Yeah.
look that way. Yeah.
So that helped. Last time was worse.
Yeah, because you've competed several times.
Yeah, last time with the wing and everything, and I had a stage prop last time that we hadn't been able to test out, because it only had it was like a one-use thing where we had a bird that was supposed to like explode into feathers. And it worked out, but there was a lot of nervousness about like the wing keeping up the stage.
All right. Was that your Kamal
Yes.
costume? Yes.
So like it's a thing you learn after a while. It's like how to plan an act in a way that's not just good but also safe to do, so you don't end up having your one big shot at this broken by bad luck.
What went through your mind when your name was called out and you won the first place?
I was honestly so confused in the beginning because I'd been really looking at Fabian's costume and lots of the other costumes, and I knew they were so good. So I was quite certain. I thought that Fabian would probably win, or maybe Lynn. And when they both were called up in like third and second, because I sat there really like, maybe I'll grab a third place with this one. Because what's stuff, when you work that long with a costume, you know all the little mistakes. Like, and I had, after the prejudging, I'd had this time where I fluctuated down, went to like, I'm really not happy about this at all, because that's how you get when you get really tired. And so at the stage, I was like, okay, I don't know who's going to win now, but I didn't really think it really could be me. It's been too far out of my imagination. And then they were reading up the judges' reasons, and they came to the words like proportions. I was like, no. And I'm standing next to Ingrid, and we're just looking at each other. I go, no. She goes, yes. I go, no. And then, like, I didn't actually believe it before they said my name. It's like,
no, but you had this amazing look on your face when they called your name. You were so emotional. It was just such a joy to see that you were so happy about that win. Also, we're gonna put Jenny a little bit on the spot if she agrees, because you were a judge at the NCC. Maybe you would like to join us. Since Fabian is still MIA.
We're missing a guest, so
We're adding a new one.
Yay! Improvising. Work with what you got. Hi. Welcome.
I actually found it was a really good thing, because last year when I was a judge and Jenny placed, I was just crying. I was so proud. I was sitting there in front of the judge table and tears were down my face. And she came up to me after, and she was equally full of tears, like, this is revenge.
I was able to hold everything in until I came backstage where everyone was clearing out, and then I saw you with all the other Norwegians, and I couldn't stop. I was bawling, I was shivering, I was just a wreck. 1,000 times worse than she was last year.
No, at least
I couldn't control it, so I was just shaking, laughing, crying, shaking, laughing, crying. Everybody's like, are you okay? Are you having a stroke? I'm just so happy.
Should we call medical attention?
But the thing that people don't think about often is that judging, especially for something like the NCC, it's also really hard work, because you have to, first of all, it's a long time. You are stuck all day in that room looking at costumes, and you nitpick to a ridiculous extent on little details. You need to kind of just go really into things you wouldn't even look at normal contests to kind of differentiate between these quality costumes. And after that, and obviously you tend to know over half the contestants, and it just gets to this point where it's like, it's really an emotional burden as well, and then trying to remain as unbiased as possible and all that kind of thing. So
Yeah, because that's always an issue in a
judging
contest.
is difficult, and it's a job that should be respected a lot.
Definitely.
When you're judging, you're judging the costume, so we're not paying a lot of attention to the person in the costume. So that makes it a bit easier.
Yeah.
Just keep only the costume and props in mind.
The performance and not
Of course, the
personal
performance,
relations.
yes.
Yeah. All right. So would you want to participate in the NCC again, do you think?
I think maybe this was my last NCC, just because it kind of feels like, where do you go from here?
Yeah.
Like, if I went, it would be, because I've never treated this as a contest. I've always treated this as an experience. But at the same time now, it's like, okay, you've gotten that first place. So I think, not that I wouldn't, if I went again, I wouldn't be disappointed not to win, but at the same time, it wouldn't be the same kind of experience, I think. And as fun as it is, I feel maybe, okay, I can do Euro cosplay. I don't know. I'm going to take a break from big contest costumes for a little while.
sounds wise.
Yeah.
We have our
There you are.
I got stuck in the panel in there. It's like, okay, time.
grab a chair.
Yeah, grab a chair. Welcome.
We replaced you.
Yeah. Because fuck you. No, I'm just kidding.
Welcome, Stickweeds.
Yes.
you.
I've had all of Facebook looking for you.
Yeah, I just like, oh yes.
That's
Yes.
That's his NCC costume. It's a photo by Danarchy Photography, I think.
Yeah.
That is my face, yes.
That is your face. We've been talking a little bit about the NCC and how the whole experience was for you guys. So
Yep.
maybe you want to talk a little bit about that? Like,
I had a blast. I heard rumors about last year's NCC, so I was a bit skeptical at first, but I have to say they pulled it off really well. I was treated well. We had handlers to make sure we had a good time, we got food and all that. People was just like overall nice. It's just it was a really good experience all around for me.
because Jenny, you were there last year,
Yes.
and you or a lot of other cosplayers said that you didn't get the best treatment backstage compared to this year.
Well, my sister and I, we had our own thing going on,
Yeah.
but everyone else, I heard they were complaining about different things. Yes, so it didn't work out, but it really felt like they took all the criticism from last year and did something awesome about it this
Yeah.
year.
I think
That's awesome.
what did happen last year, because that was the first time they televised it,
Right.
is that they put a lot of effort, a lot of work into the production of the stage show and the TV production, which was top notch. But they kind of forgot about the whole thing that they have a lot of contestants that make their show for them, and it wasn't really taken care of that well. But they really listened, and they had Sabina, which is a really, really good person to
Yeah.
organize the whole thing this year. And I think almost every single point we gave them feedback last year was addressed in one way or another.
Right. Good. So that's excellent. That just says a lot of good things about NADCON and the NCC.
Yeah.
So how did it feel like when you went on to the stage in front of so many people performing?
I was surprisingly relaxed. I don't normally I'm about to piss my pants when I got on stage, but this time I was like, I'm just gonna do it. And I went on, and I did. I was like, that was easy. Like I normally shaking before went on stage, but not this time. It was on magical reason. That was nice.
If you're shaking in armor, you would probably
Yeah.
hear that.
Jingle, jingle. And obviously, when your name was called out, you won crowd favorite and you won second place. And we could really see on the screen how emotional you got. It was, tears popping out in your eyes and everything. So how did you feel right then?
I was kind of happy.
Kinda, just a little bit.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how happy were you?
13 or something.
Yeah.
I was. I did not expect any of that. I was just like, holy shit! All these hard days of work. As like many of those, I've been working insanely hard to finish this thing on time. Mainly because I kind of started a bit too late of what I should have. But just working, and suddenly it just paid off. I was like, yeah,
Made it all worth it.
yeah. It was like
So,
I was relieved of my duties.
yeah.
It feels like such a justification, because obviously I think everyone at some point asked themselves like, is this really worth it?
Yes.
Apparently.
Yeah, so I was like, yes, I can say that this, I can justify the time and the money and the blood and the tears and sweat I spent on this.
Yeah.
Right. So it must have been really hard for you to judge the contest.
It's the hardest competition I've ever judged, and mainly because this standard 1 to 10 scale that you used, you just have to throw out of the window and create a new one, because there's no way you can place any of the costumes in the NCC below 5 at all. So you have to rearrange the whole way of thinking about and judging costumes, because they were all awesome.
Yeah. Oh, the level was crazy, insane
Yeah.
high at the NCC
I'm
this
so glad
year.
I didn't compete this year.
Yeah.
Everybody says that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You just keep selling yourself short.
I just commented about the Torucon Cosplay contest. It's just like, I'm glad this last year was my year.
Everyone seems to feel that way in retrospect. It's kind of weird. So would you want to participate in the NCC again?
I would love to.
Cool.
Next year
But
or
Not next year.
I'm
Little
taking a
break.
break. Maybe
Yeah.
the year after that, we'll see what happens.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're going to move away from the NCC and talk a little bit more about Torucon. Woo! Yeah. So what do you guys think about Torucon this year so far? Have you been having a good time?
Yeah, well, this is my first Torucon ever.
Oh, yeah.
I've been wanting to go to that the past 2 years, but money and distance kind of got in the way. I'm a bit far from home right now.
Yeah.
I think I'm safe. I have enjoyed it so far. People are really, really nice. Cosplays are like pretty high standards here. And crafting wise, I'm really impressed. I enjoy it here. Food is good and people are nice. It's nice.
Oh wow.
A wild chase.
That's convincing.
Sword Rati.
Yeah. Okay. That explains it. How about you guys?
Yeah, it's awesome. Torucon is my own convention. It's the first convention I went to, so it's always going to be closest to my heart. And this year is no exception.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted this, but I can talk more about it.
Yeah.
Because I absolutely
Go ahead.
love it. It's such a good atmosphere, and it's just such a good show. The stage area is really nice. The people are funny, and it's a kind of it feels more personal than a lot of bigger events. So even the people on stage and us like us on stage feels like it's just kind of bantering with you instead of like being very formal about things. And
Yeah.
I like that in a convention. So yeah, I mean, obviously I'm biased towards BonsaiCon since I'm an organizer, but it's very much one of my favorite cons in Norway.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Torucon is definitely one of my favorites. And we're going to BonsaiCon for the first time this year, so that's going to be cool. Maybe we'll have a panel there too, or something. Sure.
Send me an email. I will
Yes,
fix that.
I'll send you an email. Making connections. All right. But yesterday, you and Stickweeds judged the cosplay competition with Pixiedust Cosplay. So what was that like?
Oh boy.
Not easy.
No.
No, I mean, this is the first time they've done categories, which is something Sweden has had for a while, and we're very happy to finally have introduced to Norway, which means that you could have the casual category and the master category, which, thank God, just, there were so many good costumes, and if we had just had to pick 3 of those, I would have cried. But yeah, it was a very close standard this year, I feel. It was the final judging, specifically after the performances. We were sitting there saying, I think with the casual category, we were sitting there with top first, like, I don't know how to switch these around in any way.
How do I make this puzzle work?
We were like calling Tony and was like, if you don't give us an honorable mention spot, we will hijack the stage and like
Rage
pay
quit.
for a prize ourselves because we need to at least do these 4.
Oh, and we have the honorable mention sitting right here. Yes. So,
Yes.
Yay!
It was a good Keeley costume.
Yes, absolutely. There was a bit of a shock and awe moment at the end of the contest, where the winner gave away his place in the NCC, and we were like, when it happened, like literally drew our breath in, and like, what's going on?
I was filming it with my
cry.
phone, and I think you can hear me like.
So
We were not aware of that.
no,
It just kind of happened.
yeah. So you were just as surprised as everyone else.
I was.
I won't say I'm surprised though, because I know him and I've seen like his like how he was acting around it, and he's also been to the NCC before. And honestly, with the whole giving it away, I'm actually a bit surprised it hasn't happened sooner, because winning a contest there is fine. The prize obviously is worth quite a lot and it's a big thing, but it's also a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you just finish this really high-end costume and
You're
like
tired.
the price is like you got to make another one, I get that people
Yeah.
do that. Like last year, I was very much, if I hadn't decided to, like just a couple of weeks before, decided I wanted to do Ori and do that act, I might have actually done the same, because like it is such a huge thing to take on. And I mean, I'm very glad he did it there and that he didn't just like decide on that half a year from now and then throw it on someone else.
Yeah.
At least now it's almost a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next
Melina has some time on her hands now. New things to do.
I loved how happy she was.
Yeah, she was so surprised.
She had a good day yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she had a really great costume
Yeah.
too, so she's worthy
I
of
mean,
it, I
I'm
think.
very happy that she is our first representative because she knows how to do costumes. She knows how to do performances. She was definitely one of the top performances,
Yeah.
which is what really pushed her to that second place spot. So, and that's obviously a big part of the NCC. So I think
Yeah.
she's gonna do us proud.
And she also placed third at this year's Desucon.
Yes, she did with her ball gown. Yeah.
So she says she's absolutely a cosplayer we should look out for. And if you are not following her, you should follow Superhero Girl
On Facebook, yes, do that. Do you guys have any questions, by the way? Because we're just gonna talk if you don't interrupt us or put up a hand or whatever. So
The stage is yours if you
yes,
have it.
if you feel like it.
You're part of this CosCast right now.
Yes. So Annabella is keeping an eye on the chat and talking to all our lovely viewers at home. So if you want to wave to them and say hi, just wave it to the camera. And
Hi, people at home.
I'm waiting for this, like,
yeah, no, not there. Yes,
In
exactly.
fairness, we were out late.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So was it hard to, decide on a winner, or were you all pretty much in agreement?
We were in the large area, like, pretty much agree. We had a little bit like who should, like, in what order they should place, but we pretty much agreed on the favorites.
Yeah.
And it wasn't far from. It was a.
I'm glad we weren't in disagreement because that would have ended us there for a long time talking
Yep.
things over.
I've never seen a Jack Sparrow being Jack Sparrow. It was just like seeing Jack
Spot
Sparrow.
on.
It was,
Yeah, it was so good.
insane. So
There was a reason she got that.
yes.
And I mean, Jack Sparrow is a tricky character to really impress with because a lot of people have done him. And
We're talking about the casual part of the classic part of the contest.
doing a good Jack Sparrow is easy. Doing a great Jack Sparrow is hard. It's the kind of thing, especially because you need to kind of compare yourself to all these other people who have done it. And really, that I don't think I've ever seen lip syncing that's spot on.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good.
I was sitting in front of the stage taking pictures and like, wow.
You got to see it up close.
I
Yeah.
And that just the body language and the facial mimic.
Yeah.
It's just very, very on point. Yeah.
We have a question.
Oh, cool! From
Bring it
the
on.
from the chat.
Yeah.
Awesome.
From the chat. It's from Ida, and she asks, how long did it take to prepare all the props and costumes for the NCC? So I guess it's a question for both of you. So how long?
Or
did
all
you-
three, because Jenny also won second place last year.
Well, I've been working intensely in about 3 months for mine. I got kind of late because I have a shit ton of commissions I had to do. That was not very well planned of me. So I started in January by doing the barrels for my gun and the elbow skull. And then I took like 4 months off doing nothing on my NCC outfit. And then I was like, oh yeah, I have this competition, so maybe I should start. And then I just went all full on crazy crafting mode.
Do you work with metal work as a job, or do you have
Yeah.
another?
Well, I used to be a farrier, a horseshoeing blacksmith, but like two and a half months ago, I got the job offer from Epic Armory as an armor designer. So now I'm making armor full time.
Oh, cool! That is so great. That means cosplay brought you
Yeah.
into this job. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So maybe someday I might buy something you made.
That would be nice. I
Cool.
mean, it is also that job offer kind of helped me relax with the whole NCC thing, because I tried to make a business for myself by making armor. So like the competition would, help me get my name out. But since I got the job, it was like, no, now I can just chill.
Cool.
Chill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chill. So how long did it take you guys to do all the props and everything?
Mine took 4 months with me taking out all my vacation days for the whole year and leave without pay. So if I'd been in to work for all that time, then it would have been 6 months, estimated.
Wow. Yeah, and you made everything twice because you're a crazy perfectionist.
I hadn't made that kind of thing before, so I had to do something.
Yeah, but that's crazy dedication, though. Seriously.
I was so scared to go to the NCC. I was scared. I was motivated by fear.
Don't fuck up. Don't fuck
Yes.
up. No.
This it's a reality.
If it works.
No, as I said, I spent 6 months working on the costume with like varying degrees of intensity. For the stage props, well, I actually went to work. I only have a summer job for like 4 weeks every summer, so I can't skip that. And that was, I had 2 weeks on, and I worked 12-hour shifts. And then I had 1 week, and that was the NCC. So I was like in my breaks at work, I was sitting there and like drawing on and sewing the gloves and everything.
When did you have time to sleep? Or do you sleep? Are you a
don't
vampire or something?
Sleep is for the weak.
You can sleep when you're dead.
No, I
Can you
think,
explain this term sleep to me?
It's
what
when
are
you
you on
relax, really.
No, I
when
think
Never heard
I
of
was-
this.
I would work in breaks at work. I would come home and do like a 2-hour session of beard making because that kind of doesn't need that much. And I get home from work at 4 in the morning. So I would sit until 6 in the morning, then I'd sleep until around 11, 12, and then I'd be up working, and then I'd go on to work again at 4:30.
Wow, yeah, right. So
But,
cosplayers are basically the most dedicated people out there, I think, because no one else does this, I think.
Like being a good cosplayer has maybe 25% to do with skill and 75% to do with dedication.
Yeah.
Dedication and will, motivation, I guess.
I mean, with this one,
5% stupidity.
Why did I do this to myself, that thing?
Yeah.
Like before we move on from this question, though, I want to do a shout out specifically to you, Nat, who was touring last year in the NCC. Because I like stage props is what you put off because they don't need to be perfected. They just need to kind of do their job on stage. And I wanted the axe. I realized quite early that I'm not going to be able to make the axe as an actual costume prop. But I was kind of stressing out trying to get the costume done. And at some point she messaged me and going like, how's it going? And are you getting ready? And I told her like, I'm freaking out trying to get this done. And she told me like, throw some work at someone else. It's like, who? I can't just ask people, so throw it at me. So she actually made my axe head for me.
Wow.
And just sent it with the people we were driving with, so I could just put that entirely out of my mind.
That is so
It was
nice.
just
I mean,
incredible.
That's Kanuto cosplay, right?
That's
Yes,
Canadian
Kanuto cosplay,
Go
yes.
check her out, she's great.
she's awesome. No, but you guys mentioned it also earlier when you were hanging at the NCC and all the teams were hanging with each other and talking with each other. It seems like it's such a great community. Even though you're competing against each other, everyone just hangs out and are friendly and have fun together. It's not that crazy like, oh, you're my enemy because I want
I
to
can sign up for that. Like my pants on the day we had to go on stage, they're like, and I was like, oh right,
Fuck.
people will see my underwear. And then this Icelandic, what is it? I can't embarrassing, I can't remember her name. It was Emilia.
Yeah.
Emilia. And she was like, yeah, I'm just taking pants off. And she just sealed them for me. And I was like, okay, cool, thanks. And I forgot to buy her chocolate.
Oh, you can still
Well,
send it though.
yeah.
It's true, like,
Get
she-
her
I think
address.
she's coming to Bansecon.
Yeah.
I think the whole Icelandic team is coming to Bansecon.
This is excellent.
But yes, I think just really you lend people your assistance if they need that. Like you will help people out. I mean, I got some leather scraps from Fabian and got to borrow his big scissors, which he's finally gotten back now because
Kind of forgot
you
it.
kind of forgot to get it back, and I forgot to give it to you. But yeah, so just everyone's even across the country was like, obviously you're doing this team spirit thing with your own country, but you are just as happy helping out and talking to and like,
that's
hanging out
just
with
amazing.
We were competing together, not against each other.
Exactly.
That's very important.
That's the spirit.
I'm just glad that Nico, the Swedish historian, added me on Facebook later because I was afraid I'd actually just bothered the hell out of him because I get really talkative when I get nervous, and he was conveniently there, so I just kept talking at him, and I was afraid that he was one of the guys who had this. Some people have their pre-act process being very much.
Quiet
I sit by
and thinking.
myself and do like. So I was
Meditation
very
work.
afraid that I just kind of ruined it for him. Like that. Apparently, it was fine. Apparently, he was okay talking to me.
That's good. All right. Well, I think we should start wrapping up the show.
Yes.
We've been going for like 45 minutes.
I
And
just came.
yeah.
Yes, you did.
Whose fault is that? Absolutely, it's okay. But you guys have been amazing guests, and we're so glad that you took the time to come and join us. And Jenny for being such a sport on short notice.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just saw you and we're like, hey.
Yeah, come up here. And thank you to all of you who came to see us and who've been sitting here all the way through. You guys are amazing, and we love you.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to Torucon next year?
Yeah.
I damn well plan to.
Are we going to Torucon next year?
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you guys going to Torucon next year?
Woo woo! Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope so.
So if you want to follow these guys on Facebook, you can find them under Theriza's Cosplay, Ceremony Cosplay, and Stickweeds Crafting and Cosplay. And if you want to follow us, you can find me at Pixiedust Cosplay. This is Annabella Cosplay, and this is Enyassia Cosplay. And we also have a CosCast page on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. So just type CosCast and you'll find us.
And if anyone wants to be guests, we are open for questions and everyone. And
Yeah.
just send us a message and probably we'll put you on the show.
Yeah, talk to you, interview you for an hour, and talk about geeky stuff. So yeah, totally.
Yes.
Yes.
We live for you.
Yeah, so that's it. That's our show. Thank you all for coming and for watching.
Yep.
Excuse me. Don't stop.
What?
Don't stop. We haven't had any questions from the audience yet.
No, they didn't want to.
Are you sure? Last chance.
You can ask anything.
Anything.
Anything like, yeah.
Okay, now bye for real this time. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.